Hey everyone, how you guys doing today? um, so we're gonna be continuing on with what I had mentioned yesterday, which is essentially focusing down the webhooks and the webhook stuff. And I'm just gonna do it all live. I actually haven't done and like if you've been following along, you know I do a mix of these. Sometimes I just do things live, especially if I'm in a flow, like from a previous video, because I usually record these multiple in a day. Not every day. I do maintain a minimum of one a day, but I do tend to record more as well. Um, um, wait, I'm just gonna pause this because I just thought up of a task that I want to save. Yeah, sorry. As you guys might know, I have like a Trello. Actually, just close this. I have a Trello where I track all my tasks that I do regularly and things like that. And essentially, over there, I just added a task as I was speaking. It just came to my mind to. So I have a task for recording these videos, and I have a task for like just doing this whole thing of building and learning. It's just like a recurring task, and both of these are recurring tasks. But the second one, the building and learning task, it's like every time I move it to done, I have an automation set up that it instantly creates a new one in doing in my doing list. And I just wanted to set up the record video for channel the same way because currently it just repeats once a day, just flat, right? So I think I'm just gonna set it a constant repeating, just like the other one, because I feel like these are things that I should be doing consistently, at least for now. Yeah, probably not forever, but at least for now. Okay, so webhooks. Silence, I have no idea. This is like writer's block, artist's block. That might be the name of the video, just writer's block. By the way, this thing I keep smoking is just like a regular like tobacco, like a nicotine vape. Not tobacco, obviously. You don't put tobacco in these things, but yeah, I was a cigarette smoker for a long time, and I'm not stupid enough to believe that these are healthier for me or anything like these are sorry, good for me or anything crazy like that, or that they have no negative effect. But I do have to acknowledge that it's definitely not as bad as cigarettes, and I still maintain that someday in the future I might drop it, but for today, just there's a lot going on in my life, and I don't want to have to push myself to drop this and hurt the people around me. Honestly, I don't want to do that. So, webhooks. Let's just go back to the meta docs for now. WhatsApp Cloud API, documentation, get started. Step 1, step 2, generate access to recipient, test message, clone our sample app, and configure webhooks. Right. Let's try and do this. With webhooks, you can receive real-time streaming of changes to specific objects. In WhatsApp, webhooks can notify you of many events in your app, like message delivery and read notifications, and even account changes. Add a callback URL in order to see the contents of webhooks. Follow our sample callback URL for webhooks testing. With webhooks, you can receive. Sorry, I just like fell into my own head. With webhooks, you can receive real-time HTTP notifications of changes to specific objects, and WhatsApp webhooks can notify you of many events like message delivery, read notifications, and even account changes. Add a callback URL in order to see the contents of the webhooks. Follow our sample callback URL for webhooks testing. Guide to clone our sample app, which accepts webhooks notifications and displays the JSON payloads on screen. Once your webhook is set up, resend the template message and then reply back to it. You should see 4 separate webhook notifications: message sent, delivered, and read notifications, and the incoming message contents. Follow sample callback URL for webhooks testing guide. Using a test webhook. Okay, so these are all, let me just read through these. These are all the webhook options. Account alerts, account review update, account update, business capability update, history, message template components, message template quality, status, messages, partner solutions, payment configuration update, phone number name update, phone number quality update, security, SMB app state sync, SMB message echoes, template category update, user preferences. Okay. Payments API India, Payments API Brazil. Sorry, but yeah, Payments API India. Yeah, that one's probably something I'm gonna have to pay attention to eventually, but not right now. Actually, probably not through WhatsApp, but I'll have to think about it. Sorry, I keep going into my head. I keep forgetting that this is a recording and I'm just literally recording it live. Hmm. Hmm. So this is something I wanted to check. New chat. I mean, we're already on the new chat. And they don't give us an easy copy code, so I just literally have to copy it like this, which is irritating. I have to do this again. The little copy button is always nice. Jesus Christ, this is annoying. I found the following code as my my power bank just died, so I need to swap out to. Just give me a moment, boys. Alrighty. I'm just gonna run out battery power for a little while. That's okay. Because the thing is, with this code, and I went over this point a few episodes ago as well, that I do want to understand. I think I'm going to make my life easy and just do this like the way the thing shows, but I still want to take a moment to actually understand. So I get this post endpoint, right? This is the endpoint where if this endpoint is hit by the webhook, it's going to utilize it's going to utilize what's the word I'm looking for? What's the word I'm looking for? This is the webhook endpoint, basically. This is the main webhook endpoint, because remember, this app is essentially just going to log everything to console. So you can see the console log webhook received and the timestamp, and console log JSON stringify, right? So this 2 lines is all like, from that it's enough for me to figure out what this is trying to do with this request, right? So const timestamp new date to ISO string dot replace t with space dot slice 0,19. So yeah, this is just basically creating a serializable version of the date object, right? The kind that can be passed to json.stringify, correct? So it's just doing that. That's pretty straightforward. I'm guessing the replace t is because it produces an ISO string that's date and then t for time and then the time. So it drops the time, and I'm guessing the slice is because there's probably several extra milliseconds at the end that they're like, there's pointless to send that. So I'm guessing that's why. And it's true, those hard millisecond things, maybe at scale it matters. I'm not sure. Step 2, deploy a Node Express app on render. So let's do the GitHub part. But before that, what I wanted to do and what I was trying to get to is that I don't understand what this GET request is doing. Webhook verified, right? So this has to do with verifying the webhook, but I don't quite understand how this works and why is it called hub mode, blah, 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 blah. Res status dot send challenge, else res status end. I don't understand how this auth part works. On this link, can you check the code and link, please, and tell me what the GET request is doing? Can you check and tell me why the link is, what the GET request on this code in this code is doing? Let's see. In the meantime, since I do have an idea that has something to do with auth, WhatsApp webhooks verification. Cloud API docs. Let's do that to actually get out. WhatsApp Cloud API webhooks. Okay. Create an endpoint, subscribe to, you will need to get a meta app ID and permissions to do this, blah, blah, blah. Permissions. In order to receive webhooks, you will need the following permissions. Okay, understanding webhooks. Whenever trigger events occur, the WhatsApp business request sees the event and sends a notification to a webhook URL you have previously specified. You can get two types of notifications: received messages. This alert lets you know when you've received a message, message status, and print. This alert lets you know when the status of a message has changed. For example, the message has been read or delivered. These can also be called outbound notifications throughout the documentation. All webhooks have the following generic format. Okay. Webhooks payloads can be up to 3 megabytes. Okay. Test webhook app. Webhook. If we send a webhook request to your endpoint and the server feels unable to deliver until the request succeeds. Okay, this is not giving me the answer that I want. Let's see. Is used to verify and set up a webhook with WhatsApp Cloud API. Here's the context. When you set up a webhook for WhatsApp or any Facebook app, Facebook needs to verify that your endpoint actually belongs to you. During setup, Facebook sends a GET request to your webhook URL. This request contains a challenge token. Your server must respond correctly with that token to confirm ownership. This process ensures that random people can't just pretend to have your webhook URL. Okay, so these must be some sort of environment variables. Can you give me sources for your info? I'm gonna check the links that it gives me. This is wait, is it this one maybe? No, this is the one I opened. Command F hub. Not even found on this page. Good job, ChatGPT, you flippin' idiot. Okay, maybe it's this one. Wait, what? Did it just give me the same link twice? Oh, okay, yeah. Okay, this makes more sense. Thank you. That's what I wanted, the official documentation. It is here. Okay, I was just having a major malfunction. Okay. I'm just going to close this one because I have it open here. Close that too. Okay, verification request. Anytime you configure the webhook's product in your app dashboard, we'll send a GET request to your endpoint URL. Verification requests include the following query string parameters appended to the end of your endpoint URL. They will look something like this, okay? Hub.mode subscribe. This value will always be set to subscribe. Hub.challenge sample value, an int you must pass back to us. Hub verify token, meaning hammock, string that we grab from the verify token field in your app's App dashboard, you will set the string when you complete the webhooks configuration settings steps. Okay. Note, whenever you endpoint receives it must verify value match the string you set in the verify token field when you configure the webhooks product in your app dashboard. You haven't set up this token string yet. If you're on an app dashboard and configuring your webhooks product and thus triggering a verification request, dashboard will indicate if your endpoint validated the request correctly. Sorry, I'm just like distracted by myself, my own image. So event notifications are like actual events like messages and such, and then there's verification requests. WhatsApp webhooks verification frequency? Because I see that it does it once at the beginning, but shouldn't it just do it regularly? Okay. So apparently it's a one-time thing, but that doesn't feel quite right. I don't know why that would just be a one-time thing. Maybe it also happens on like if some sort of for some sort of internal error on our end the webhook fails, so when it comes back online maybe it does it again, something like that, I guess. I feel like just having it be a one-time thing doesn't seem right. One time plus on resets makes sense, right? um, okay, so official blog platform should explain how to implement the get endpoint in Node.js Express. Ooh, what's this? Hmm. This is the exact same code in the other one. So, all right, I'm just gonna, I think I get it. So I'm just gonna, boom, boom. Oh, wait, that's not this one. I think that's this one. No, it's not this one either. Test webhook app. There you go. That's the one. All right, so I already copied this code. Let me just double check it's still copied. No, it's not because I copied something else. So let's just scroll down so it all fits on one page because otherwise it gets irritating. Copy. Let's go to GitHub. By the way, I will probably pause this video and or end it. I'm sorry if I have to end it and I'm just gonna make a new one because this is kind of boring for you guys probably just watching me like staring it off into space and thinking, because that's just kind of like usually when I do these live videos, I'm already in some sort of flow and then I'm like, okay, wait, no, I'm going to start recording now. But that is not the case right now. Like I'm actually starting from zero and I just like forced myself because I don't know why I was freezing a little bit yesterday. Because honestly, this kind of stuff, even though it should be people's bread and butter, is not as native to me and my workflow in the past. Like code still I could get through, but this is still a bit rough and I want to be careful. So let me go to my organizations, because I don't want this to come up in my SNS Industries. That's my organization. Okay, repositories, new repository, test webhook app. I think WA. We'll just do WA because it's specific for WhatsApp. I was gonna say Meta, but I don't think we're gonna have any other Meta integrations. And if we do, I think we should still have. And you know what? We could rename the repo or create a new repo and delete this one, which eventually we will probably. Choose visibility private. Yeah, I'm gonna keep. I mean, this is just copy paste code, but for now, I just want to keep everything private in this repo, just for me. At maturity, I am contemplating. I will go open source based on how good it is, and if I see value for other people in this, and it's not just like my internal logic from my internal app. Like if it's a repo that like this can be open sourced and is of value to everyone else, then yeah, we would probably potentially consider doing that. Choose visibility private. Start with the template. Readme, no get ignore. License, whatever. I am just gonna do this. Yeah, actually, repository. I don't think there's a name. New file, edit pins. How do I add? Why do I need to manage my 2FA? I believe my 2FA is already set up. Assigning methods, manage 2FA. Here, method to use 2FA, yeah, passkeys. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep using passkeys, whatever. I don't need to manage that. I think it's because it's like mandatory now to do 2FA, so it's popping it up for me even though I already have it set up appropriately. Just to make sure everyone definitely takes a look and knows what's going on. So I think that's a fair thing for them to do. I don't want to do a quick setup. I just want to create a new file. I remember there used to. Can I just close this? Yes, I can. Yeah, okay, I can. It's right there. I don't know why. I remember there used to be several other files. Name your file. App.js. Commit changes. Okay. Let's go to the next step. Express app on follow render's instructions. And then just to be clear. No. Render dashboard. I'll just sign in with GitHub. Create account. Let me check parties UAE. I've tried unsubscribing from them so many times. Nothing else. Test Gorilla, whatever. Verify your email. SNS industries. Just gonna do both. Okay, I'm just gonna hit just me right now. So that's what now. I'm just gonna say backend, whatever. I don't want to tell them too much. Okay. Click new web service and connect your new repo. Okay. Let's just close that. Okay, I'm just gonna leave this here. Render dashboard, new web service. Connect Git provider. I hope I get the option to do install render. Okay. Create access to dependable administration members metadata. Rewrite access to actions. Do I need to do this? I don't want to install random. I think it's some sort of GitHub Actions workflow or something like that. Okay. Yeah, I'm just gonna keep it isolated for this repo right now because that's the only one I care about. Install. Use passkey. Oh man. I thought I was gonna have to pause because I might have to showcase some sensitive stuff, but man, I love web keys. Nothing is getting exposed and I just keep recording. It's not a big deal. Like, I mean, I don't care if my public GitHub repo profile gets out there. It's like, whatever. Okay. Okay. Node build command yarn startup command. Okay. So all of this is a fucking lie, honestly. I believe, like, when this is why I don't like these guys, because they abstract too much, and I feel like for younger developers, it's easier to like just do this, but then you don't really know the innards of like how Docker works and things like that, and you really should. Like, I think it's a good thing. Anyway, so we'll just go node. I don't know what main is. So this is all a lie, and the reason this is all a lie because it's all Docker underneath, right? They just have pre-configured things for these that then if you're not using the popular thing, or if they're just not able to pick it up from your from your repo or app or whatever, then it's just you're gonna have to sit there and debug like what's going on, and it'll be like difficult for you if you don't know, and especially these because obviously. There's just less info with these service providers than the other guys. They have better customer service to make up for it, but You know, I like maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it is more user friendly and it is faster to debug and things like that. But I still put value in developers putting their effort to understand, right? Like because I understand that I'm like, and I need to move. I think this is fine. No, okay, so that's the directory C app/yarn. So let's not do that. Build command should be yarn. That's what it said. Node build command yarn. Node app.js. Node app. Oops. Enter runs this command to start your app with each build command yarn. Start command node app.js. Node app.js. YARN. Okay. It was already filled in. I don't know why it made me fill it in again, even when I clicked on the cursor, it was right in, but whatever. Free starter. All payments I will know. This is basically for development and to understand things. We're just gonna have it be on the hobby project. Environment variables. Okay. So yeah, going forward, every push to your link branch automatically builds and deploys your app. If a build fails, render cancels the deploy on your app's existing version, continues running until the next successful deploy. Alrighty. Advanced. So there was some stuff like hub mode and challenge and all of those things. So I don't know where it's gonna pick that up from. Port, verify token, process.env, port, process.env, right? I'm so confused. Where does it get mode and challenge? I don't understand. I'm just gonna ask ChatGPT because I feel like this is some low level how JavaScript is written stuff that I've forgotten. Yeah, because I don't want it to like start taking the context of actually, you know what? I am just gonna do temporary chat. User update chats. GPT's memory will be used to train models for safety. You may keep a copy of this chat for up to 30 days. There you go. Can I save a temporary chat? Apparently I can archive it. Let's see. Structuring assignment with the renaming of properties, extracting specific query parameters from rec.query, commonly used in Express.js when handling a string. Here's a breakdown. Extracting specific query parameters from rec.query, commonly used in Express.js. Okay. This is an object containing query string parameter from the URL of an HTTP request. Destructing the keys in rec.query have dots in them like hub.mode. In JavaScript, object destruction with such keys must use quotes because dot isn't a valid character and an identifier. Look for the property hub.mode in rec.query assign its value to the variable mode. Renaming while destructing. Okay. I get it. Okay. So rec.query is the object containing query string parameters from the URL of an HTTP request, right? So you receive a request, and that's you get rec.query. That's why I was confused. It's like this is equal to rec.query. I don't understand, but I think this is like even similar to in Python, how if you return a tuple, right? So on the right you could have a function that returns a tuple, and on the left you can assign to multiple items at the same time, and that tuple will automatically be destructed into or deconstructed into the separate pieces, or unpacked. I think I prefer the term unpacked. Destructuring with special characters. The keys in rec.query have dots in them like hub.mode. So they must have quotes. So the pieces in rec.query has something like this, right? So this is the object rec.query, and then when it comes in, because it has a dot, you have to use double quotes, so that's fine. I'm saying from rec.query, look for hub.mode and assign it to the variable mode, okay? Look for the property hub.mode and rec.query, assign its value to the variable mode. Renaming while destructuring, okay? Original key, new variable name, object. Okay, this is just a more generic version of what I said. So it's like writing this, but it's just a little more precise, and honestly, in my opinion, not readable. Like this, it's like it doesn't logically follow. It's like, right? Like, I don't know. Honestly, I think this would have been better because this just makes sense. Right? This is straightforward and much more readable than the other one. Anyways, whatever. Alright, going back to our thing over here. Okay, but then, and then we have to compare it to our verify token. Yeah, that's what the code is doing over here in test webhook app. Takes all of this, and if mode equals subscribe and the token given is equal to my internal verify token, and then we can say the webhook is verified. So we do have to add some sort of verify token to this environment variable. So I do need to add an environment variable here. Verify underscore token value. I'm just gonna do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for now. And deploy web service. Okay. So it's finished. Wrapping the package. Should be up in a moment. Uploading build. Okay. I'm like super duper hungry right now. So, okay. Alright, so just to summarize what we did, so that there's some value if people skip all the way to the end over here. So essentially, we checked out the test webhook app, right? We understood what this get request is doing, which is essentially what is called on setup when you set up the webhook endpoint in your WhatsApp dashboard. Is my battery about to die? Okay, no. When I set up my webhook endpoint in the WhatsApp dashboard or the Meta Business Portfolio dashboard or wherever you have to set an app dashboard. I think you have to do it in the app dashboard. And maybe you have to grab the tokens and stuff from the business portfolio, something like that. I'm not exactly sure. Oh, that reminds me, I'm just gonna add this task live. I don't care if you guys see my Trello right now. I just remember something that's important. Check why apps not showing in business portfolio, because that was from my last thing and I wanted to save that then. Hopefully there's nothing yeah, okay, this. I have like a for fun list where I had some stuff. I started playing some like online CCG game type things, so just had some stuff there because I feel like I should start taking a little bit of, it's not a lot, but a little bit of time for myself to make the grind a little bit more sustainable in the long term. Um, oops, something failed. Code module not found. Throw error node internal modules. Wrap module load, module not found. Okay, I don't know. I don't know what's going on, so that's something I need to look into. But anyways, getting back to what we originally did, what we're talking about. So we just looked at the webhooks documentation. I just decided to move into working on the test webhook app. Here I grabbed this code, I created a new repository for it, I added it to, I signed up for render and I added it up over there. On the side, we looked up what this get request is doing, which is essentially a webhook verification endpoint, which supposedly only is called on configuration in the app dashboard, but I don't know if that is truly the case, and there's some sort of other mechanism to verify again at some point in the future, probably on like your app crashing or something like that, maybe, or maybe on redeploys and things like that. If there's some metadata for version, something like that. But this is essentially what this get request is doing. We understood that this hairy looking line of code is really dumb. Essentially what it's saying is that from the rec.query object, grab hub verify token, hub challenge, and hub mode, right? And then check the from the rec query object, aka the thing that we receive at this endpoint, if mode is equal to subscribe and token is the same as verify token, we return the challenge, right? Which basically, I'm so confused by this. How is this verification working, right? Because anyone could just be like, hey, I got this request query, I'm sending back the challenge, right? So let me, okay, this is one other thing I want to look up because I'm confused. So I'm gonna go back to get request explanation. If I understand the code correctly, it's checking if the env variable verify token matches the token received at the endpoint. How is this at endpoint? And then sending back the challenge that the endpoint received itself. How is this secure? Because anybody could skip the check and just respond with the challenge received. Make sure I understand it correctly. Maybe the other thing was wrong. Oh. Oh, okay, I get it. So the check is trash, and it's fine that it's trash because you don't, like, someone can only try and get the request on their own URL, right? If they don't have admin access to your dashboard, they don't know the URL. They don't know what the end webhook URL is, right? So essentially, you can just return the challenge. It doesn't matter, but it's like if for example, you have an employee that's pissed off at you and who does happen to have admin access or some other bullshit, right? Something else happens, and someone managed to get that URL, but then it's not pointing to their own URL, aka their own code. It's pointing to your URL, and your URL is still checking for the token, right? So there you go. That's the main issue here, and that's why this is secure. Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. All right, coming back to this, we added it. We went through render steps, and then step 2, deploy node express apple command. Okay, I was not paying attention to this. Skip step 1, use these settings for skip step 3. Okay, I was not. What is step 1? Yeah, I'm not doing that. That one I automatically skipped, thankfully. For start command node app.js, use these settings. Okay. Yeah, I should have paid attention to that. I can go back and change it, I'm pretty sure. So this is stuff we're saving for the next video. We did all that. I think we understood a little bit better about how the verification system works, which will help us when we're setting up ourselves. And I think that's everything for this video. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye. Take care.